What's up, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Wizards Latest. I'm your host and DC sports fan, Ben Robertson, and on this page, we break down all the biggest headlines surrounding the Washington Wizards. So, as always, make sure you like and subscribe down below. Drop your comments with any thoughts you might have on the video or anything you want to hear me talk about in the future. As always, guys, appreciate all the support here on the page. Let's see if we can get up to 600 subscribers here this week. Thank you for tuning in every single day. Today, I want to use one of those comment ideas. Our second ever 10th Man Tuesday segment is what we will start off with. Then we'll chat a little bit about AJ Johnson's role. Then we'll break down a really great Keyshawn George quote about his upcoming time with Team Canada in the FIBA AmeriCup tournament. And lastly, we have to chat about the John Wall retirement, of course, officially announced here this morning. Again, guys, thanks for tuning in to the page and to Wizards Latest every single day. Let's talk about Malachi Brham here. He will be our subject of 10th Man Tuesday. Remember, this segment coming right out of the comment section, breaking down a player that I think is going to be a little bit lower down on the depth chart this year, fighting to maybe climb up and try to earn themselves some more minutes. Might not exactly be the 10th man. Don't get hung up on that too much. But again, let's take a quick look here at Brham, the Ohio native, born and raised in Columbus, attended Ohio State and St. Vincent St. Mary's. First Mr. Ohio basketball for that high school since LeBron James won the award. A two-time state champion in his high school playing days. He scored 37 points in the state final game of his senior year state title run. Decided to stay at home. I found this really interesting at Ohio State, and he said it really wasn't because of proximity. Of course, always maybe something in the back of his mind. It was more about the coaching staff there at the time really was just the most persistent of the bunch in terms of their recruitment of him at the time, led by Chris Holtmann. I believe the lone season that Brham played at Ohio State, a Big Ten freshman of the year campaign, was the last time that Ohio State actually made the NCAA tournament. Went on to become the number 20 overall pick in the 2022 draft. Received really pretty solid playing time over his first couple seasons in San Antonio. Was averaging around 10 points per game, just over 20 minutes a night, but took a big dip in playing time and in production this past season. And was even sent down to the G League for about a week back in March. And now the Spurs, really just being loaded at guard heading into next year, decided to move him to Washington. Of course, that deal also involving Blake Wesley, Kelly Olynyk. But really, when I looked at the numbers for Brham over his first few years with San Antonio, one thing I really noticed was that with less playing time, his efficiency from the floor and from three-point land went up. And obviously, that's something maybe he's got to carry over if he is able to earn himself some more minutes. But I noticed that he shot 40% from beyond the arc this past year, which was something that really was known as one of his positive traits coming into the league, his shooting and scoring ability. If he can keep that efficiency up with maybe a little bit more volume, if he's able to earn it, might be able to earn himself a path to more minutes. Also, something that I will say, really, with anybody that's maybe at the end of the bench on this Wizards roster, if you can bring energy and effort defensively, that is a clear path to earning your way onto the court. Again, we have talked about really a whole bunch on the page how for this coaching staff and for this front office, defense is very, very much a priority. You can see that with the players they've selected and added so far in this Will Dawkins, Michael Winger era. So next, I want to continue actually with the expectation series from Bryson Akins of SI. Most recently chatting about AJ Johnson and really made a very interesting comparison for AJ to a player on the current NBA champion OKC Thunder squad. Bryson compared AJ, or maybe his future ideal role, to a guy like Aaron Wiggins on OKC, who's able to come off the bench and just really provide instant offense, just be a spark plug for that Thunder squad, and played a key role in that manner for the champion team this past year. The one thing I'll say about AJ, to get to that point, he really just needs more and more time on the court, to be quite honest. And I think he can get there, but I think people forget sort of just the inexperience of AJ Johnson, to be quite honest. Only played 29 games total last year, only 7 with Milwaukee before playing 22 with Washington. And then remember, he foregoed college to go play professionally in Australia. Those seasons are just shorter, so only played 26 games the year before that. You compare that to a guy like Aaron Wiggins, who was, had a long college career at Maryland, and then now is in his 4th year in the NBA, averaged about 6 or 7 points his first few years before the scoring average just about doubled here in year 4. And again, played a huge role off the bench for that Thunder championship team. With AJ, and it's not a unique thing to him. There's so much natural talent, not unique to him on this roster, I should say. There's so much natural talent there. The question is, can he just put all of the things and all of the tools together? Excited to see if he can make a little bit of a jump this year, or really just continue to make progress, because as this article suggests from SI, I think that's kind of where he does fit in with this Wizards team, or with any team in the future. I think that instant offense type of player off the bench could be really the perfect role for an AJ Johnson type of player. Let me know your expectations for him down below in the comment section, your thoughts there. Next, I want to talk about a Keyshawn George quote that, again, I just absolutely loved. Keyshawn getting ready to play in the FIBA Americup tournament with Team Canada. Gets started this Friday, August 22nd, against Venezuela. That's Canada's first action. That tournament being hosted down in Nicaragua. When he asked why he chose to play and why he was excited to play in this event, he really just said, hey, the offseason was pretty long and I needed to get reps and play basketball. What better way to do it than represent your country? Remember, Keyshawn has a Canadian father who played professionally over in Switzerland, where Keyshawn was born and raised. But I just, again, love, and I've talked about this with the other guys playing internationally, love that they want to stay on the court, love that they're taking advantage of these opportunities to get live game action and live game reps. I know it's not always available or always possible every offseason, but when you have that opportunity, I do think it is better and more valuable for your development, for just off-season experience, than maybe those workout videos we see with guys by themselves, or even in open runs in the off season. So like that quote from Keyshawn George, excited to see him play in what should be a pretty nice featured role with Team Canada. Last thing I want to talk about today, John Wall has officially announced his jersey retirement. Of course, has been out of basketball really since about 2023 now, but just want to wish all of the best to John Wall. I will say this uh, for as long as, and as much as I can, wish him all of the best. And for fans of my generation, and of course older as well, I mean, he was the guy growing up. If you're a little bit younger, I wish I could sort of describe it to you. To be quite honest, people forget about the hype of him coming out of college. They forget about that high school mixtape. I mean, John Wall was the guy. Backed it up with being a nightly 20 and 10 guy with a couple steals to go along with that in his prime. Was really, people forget how good he was defensively as well. Was so quick, might have been one of the fastest players, if not the fastest player in the NBA in his prime. Maybe joined it, honestly, the league like a little bit late, like sort of the 3-point revolution, maybe coinciding with sort of the back half of his career. Imagine, John Wall in the 90s or 2000s might have really been the ideal era for him, but just helped carry this franchise through a lot of tough years, to be quite honest. So much respect for him, so charitable in the community, has been really open about his personal struggles, lost his mother and grandmother within the course of a year. I believe, injuries as well sort of derailed his career. Really open about some of his personal battles. Just again, so much respect for John Wall. Tip of the cap, salute, whatever you want to call it. Wish him all of the best in any future endeavors he may partake in. And right here, guys, thank you for tuning in to the page. We will keep you posted on anything Wizards related with videos daily. So make sure you like and subscribe down below. Drop your comments as well with any thoughts or any future video ideas. You can also hit me with them over on Twitter at Ben Robertson32. Again, guys, appreciate all of the support here on the page, and thanks for watching another episode of Wizards Latest.